Hello, I'm Dr. Pat McKenna. I'm a pediatric urologist at Mercyhealth at the new Women's and Children's Center in Rockford. I had the opportunity to do this video. The primary focus of it is to introduce our program to pediatricians and primary care physicians that really don't know about our program. I probably should start though, in case someone sees this that does know about our program and have supported our program, just to say thank you for the tremendous support that we've had. In just over a year and a half, we've done over 600 procedures. So we've definitely tested the system and know that our program is very successful and functioning well. I think the things that are really need to know for the pediatricians and primary care physicians, particularly outside the Mercyhealth system, is that we've got a phenomenal facility here in Rockford. It's state-of-the-art, brand new, and we have all of the support personnel that we really need to provide tremendous pediatric urologic care. We have pediatric anesthesiologists, we have pediatric radiologists, we have a complete pediatric urology team now that includes a full-time pediatric nurse practitioner in our program. And as I said, we've done over 600 procedures, so we have now a trained OR staff, and the Mercyhealth system has provided all the equipment that I needed to provide a full pediatric urology program. That's a lot of gear in the operating room and also in our clinic, so that we have everything we need to take care of children with pediatric urologic problems. Probably the thing that's more important is that we've got this track record now of treating children for a long period of time, and this happens to be the 6th pediatric urology program that I've developed in my career. So this is really pretty straightforward and effective in providing the care that we need for children in our region. We have the ability to see more children outside just a Mercyhealth system, and I think there's a bunch of benefits to coming to a program like this, where we have the western suburbs of Chicago, we have southern part of Illinois, and the southern part of Wisconsin that has easy access to the hospital right off the highway, free parking, you can drive right up to our surgical center. These are things that are not necessarily available in our region, and so I really do hope you consider our program. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what my interests are from a surgical point of view. Obviously we can take care of any of the bread and butter pediatric urology problems, but my area of expertise really is in 3 main areas, and probably the biggest area that makes me different than most pediatric urologists is I have a career-long experience in reconstructive urology. So for most of you, what that means is hypospadias, Core D, and circumcision injuries. Those are the most common things that we reconstruct. But I was lucky to get training right from the beginning with one of the top reconstructive urologists in the world as a resident, and that was extended as I got additional training at Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. And then now I have a career-long experience of doing many reconstructive procedures. I'm usually the last stop for children that have major complex initial surgeries or have redo operations that need to be corrected from operations that they've had elsewhere. Probably the thing that most people know me for from a reconstructive point of view is that I've actually popularized some very important surgical options for children that are new and different, and I've done more of those than most people in the country. So I think if you have patients that have reconstructive issues, whether they're complex or straightforward, we really have the capability to pretty much do anything here. People tell me sometimes that, well, I'm going to do the simple stuff and I'll send the more complicated things to you. Well, that's true, but when I do the simple things, we really do end up with really great results. Whereas if you have someone who does a simple thing that has a problem, then I'm taking care of them, and it's much more difficult. So don't just think you need to send them more complex stuff. We like to do the simple things and get good results. The other area of interest from a surgical point of view that is a little bit unusual is the management of nonpalpable testes. So if you have children that have testes that are in the abdomen, I have a great experience in managing those. We do that laparoscopically, and I've been doing that for almost 30 years. We have a very high success rate. But even just regular palpable undescended testis, we get great results for those too. So I think that's another area that is pretty common in pediatric urology, and one of the things that you should consider letting us do here at Mercyhealth. One of the third areas of our program that you may not be aware of is children that have incontinence. So we have one of the most advanced continence programs in the entire country. And I was able early in the 1990s to stumble on a method of treatment that has a very high success rate. We have a program at Mercyhealth that's been up and running for the last year and a half that has actually managed a large number of children already. And this is managed primarily by our nurse practitioner, Lauren Bell, who does a phenomenal job with managing these children. And I would strongly encourage you, if you have children that have problems with daytime accidents, nighttime accidents, recurrent urinary tract infections, or vesicoureteral reflux, that you consider referring them to our program. The children that have been involved in the program have close to 100% success rate in curing their problems. We've decreased our surgical rate in this group by 95%, and we've cut down recurrent infections by over 95% too. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about the continence program, because this is one that many people are aware of from my time in Springfield and also in Madison, Wisconsin. This program has been running really since the mid-90s, and so we have over 18,000 children that have been through our continence program. It's one of the largest experiences in the country. Back when we first started treating children with incontinence, urinary tract infections, and vesicoureteral reflux, most all of them were treated with medication, and many of them ended up going on to surgery, and we really didn't do a great job of preventing recurrent infections. Our current program, which has continued to improve over the last 20 years, is at a point now where over 100% of the children with daytime accidents we can cure with our program. We've essentially done away with the need for everyone to be on medication. Less than 10% of the children actually need medication, has been proven by our program. And the children that used to get surgery for vesicoureteral reflux, I used to do approximately 120 a year. We do 0 now. We don't need surgery for that entity. Most times they can be treated through our continence program. And the program really is a very straightforward one. It relies a lot on education. This is followed by non-invasive testing. So many of the tests that used to be done in the past, we don't do anymore. We do very simple testing, an ultrasound, and a urodynamic test, which involves just voiding, so there's no tubes. And based on those studies, we can categorize the children in the direction of which ones do actually need medication. Many of the children get biofeedback, and we have that program up and running and available at Mercyhealth that allows us to teach children actually how to void normally. And this solves many of the problems with incontinence, recurrent urinary tract infections, and even vesicoureteral reflux. The overall success rate, we said, was close to 100% for the incontinence. As far as the reflux children, we're over 98% of them do not need surgery anymore because of this program. And the children with urinary tract infections, over a 95% cure rate of recurrent infections. So this is really very successful. Lauren Bell, our nurse practitioner, is managing that program, and she's doing a phenomenal job. She does everything from seeing your patient to actually doing the biofeedback herself. So it's basically your patients will be followed by the same person all the way through the program. Those 3 areas, I think reconstructive urology, the undescended testis, and incontinence are the areas that we probably really focus on. We're also lucky at Mercyhealth to have a tremendous maternal fetal team. And so I also have an interest in antenatally detected urologic problems. So those are all available to be managed here, particularly since we have a state-of-the-art NICU, and then again, all of the capabilities to manage children even that are born premature.